It's very humbling to know that there are still people out there who at their worst possible time can think of somebody else. And it restores your faith in humanity.
It's almost the most selfless thing that you can do, and it's literally not going to affect you as far as changing your life immediately.
That's what Cody Barace did. In the mix of him losing his, he provided 8 others with life. I met Cody at the University of Scranton camp, and then me being a coach at Our Lady of Peace had this opportunity of meeting him there and competing against him, right? So, and then I had developed a relationship with his father from working through Joe Price's office. So I actually was working down at the DA's office after I graduated from the University of Scranton and had an opportunity of meeting, Judge Barace and developing like this relationship with him. And he's saying, hey, I used to go to their house in order to do privates with Cody. So so through the camps, I developed the relationship and then had a job opportunity through Judge Barace. And then, then it just flourished into more because he liked the work that I was doing, right? I was working with at-risk families and the community and going into the projects and going to surrounding environments and just offering opportunity for kids and talking to them and speaking to them, and the judge made that connection through the DA's office. So while doing the privates at the house, Cody and I would say, he would say, hey, you want to go for a bike ride? And then remember they used to have these, Judge Barace had sponsored a young lady who had passed away. And then we used to start at at Scranton High. And the race would start at Scranton High, go all the way up to Valley View and come around. And he was like, do you want to ride with me? I'm like, all right, I'll ride with you. So I went on this ride with him, but he gave me a bike that was so bad. He gave me a bike that he was like, take it, that I couldn't really pedal because it was like, wasn't working. And he's flying. Like, he's like, catch up. I'm like, Kent, you gave me this bike that wasn't working. And then I thought that he did it. He was like joking around, right? And then he was probably laughing to himself like, this guy is never gonna make it. So I'm trying to make my way back up to his house in Glenmore. I had to call somebody to come get me because I couldn't do it anymore. I was like, I'm never gonna make it, and I felt like that was like his prank. Like, he had this great sense of humor. Cody Barace was loving, caring, forgiving, funny, outgoing, service, dedicated, loyal, a son, a brother, a friend to a lot. Wasn't one specific thing more than the other. He had like this collaborate connection of multiple of personalities of who he is, right? You can't just say, you're this. No, it was.
We really have a public health care crisis in organ donation. Right now, there's over 100,000 people who are waiting for a life-saving organ transplant. The majority of those patients are on dialysis. 90,000 of those patients are waiting for a kidney. They're tethered to a dialysis machine for 8 hours a day, 3 days a week, and their life and their mortality on the wait list is incredible. Other organ systems, hearts, lungs, don't have that type of modality, and unfortunately, people die every day waiting for that second chance at life. Beyond that, in the United States, we have an epidemic of obesity, hypertension, high blood pressure. There's over 500,000 Americans waiting for or who have end-stage renal disease.
So I'm 45 years old currently. When I was diagnosed with end-stage renal failure, I was 40, so about 5 years ago. It was during the height of COVID. I was just living my life at home with my kids and my family, playing board games, just doing normal things. I didn't realized that I wasn't feeling good. I just pushed through. I want to say, I don't think I ever recognized that something was wrong. Looking back, I was extremely sick. I had some other medical issues that I needed to get taken care of. So the doctor saw me. We were planning for like a minor surgery just to kind of fix what we can at the point because of COVID. When that happened, the doctor called me and said, I can't perform surgery on you. And I said, oh. And she said, your blood levels are all off. And I said, oh. I said, well, I feel fine. She's like, yeah, well, I can't do the surgery. So I immediately called my primary care doctor, and she's like, she calls me with the repeat blood work and says, you have to go to the hospital immediately. So when you get a phone call like that, you're like, oh my goodness, like what's wrong? Like I didn't know what to do. On top of all this, I just started my current job. So I was hired June 1st of 2020. I got diagnosed June 13th of 2020. So I had just switched jobs. I had no vacation time. I had literally who lives paycheck to paycheck till you switch, a job and then get going. So all of this is going on, and they tell me I have to go to the hospital. So then my husband comes from work, and the doctor comes in and says, your kidneys are working at 5%. And I thought I was going to die. I just started crying. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, this is curable. Like, you could get a transplant. Yeah, it's great to talk about, but when you're living it, the ultimate thing is, oh my God, like my kids, my family, like, I don't know if I'm going to be around to see them grow up. It's an ultimate reality. I went through a heck of a journey. So I was on dialysis from that point on for 4.5 years straight. Sorry, when you think about it, it's insane to have those emotions and not have anybody understand how you're feeling. So in that period of time, my parents, my friends, they drove me back and forth to Danville every day because I had to train. Once we got this all taken care of and the port was good, I had to train how to do dialysis on myself. So people took work off. They drove me, my father, my mother, they sat with me, my siblings. Like, it was just it wasn't even, I didn't even have to ask. There was a bunch of people. My niece started a GoFundMe. Thank God she did, because I didn't realize all the money that it was going to take. So after 3 years, you have to go on Medicare as a end-stage renal failure, but you have to pay for it. So I was paying for my work insurance. I carry my family. I was paying for my work insurance, and then I had to pay $165 a month for Medicare on top of my work insurance. My GoFundMe, which raised, I think, about $16,000, was gone due to medical bills and traveling. I was just like, you know what? My husband's like, whatever we have to do. If I have to work 2 jobs, if we have to take a loan out, we're going to make this work. And then my aunt came home and she's like, well, they have a foundation. It's called the Cody Brace Foundation, and they can help you with whatever you need medically, financially. They can support you. So I applied for the grant, which is very hard to do when you don't want any help. And so when I applied for the grant, they called me and told me I received the grant. And I was overwhelmed. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And, it opened my eyes that there's still people out there to help and stories to tell. What they did for me, the Cody Brace Foundation, is something I could never repay back. They paid for my Medicare for 2 years. They took a huge burden off me. They also paid for my deductibles, and they supported me in any other financial burden that was brought upon receiving this news. So the ultimate part of this is, sometimes you need help. And I didn't realize that I needed help. And my husband was willing to do whatever. My family was willing to do whatever. But they couldn't help me the way that this foundation had helped me.
Third-party foundations for us are critical to our mission. We can't do everything. and we really depend on grassroots efforts.
They're vitally important to educate the public, to dispel myths and misconceptions surrounding organ donation in order to help us get the word out.
Foundations like the Cody Foundation, who supply food, transportation, lodging for patients who are awaiting transplantation, is so important. Just to go from Scranton to Philadelphia for a tank of gas, many families just can't afford it. And without foundations like the Barace Foundation, people wouldn't even be on the waiting list, wouldn't even be able to get to clinic to be evaluated unless they had those resources.
All of these foundations, to include the foundation like the Cody Barace Foundation, are instrumental in the success of organ donation and transplantation.
Without this foundation, I would have never been able to continue. I would have had to go on disability, and that was the last thing I wanted to do. The foundation never once questioned anything. If I gave them a receipt, they sent me a check. And I've never had that type of support. As far as somebody giving you something to live. Like, no matter who you are, I was raised from a family, you work for what you have. And like, when you want something, that's great, but you have to work for it. I couldn't do that. I couldn't even like get off the couch. At one point when I started dialysis, was on dialysis overnight for 7 hours. By the time I ended, it was 14 hours I had to be on dialysis. You only have 24 hours in a day. So I couldn't even afford to provide my part for the family because I had to worry about medical bills, and the Barace Foundation took that away from me. They provided me with what I needed to not worry about that piece. And that's what people forget. I was able to continue working to upkeep my family, but the piece on the right that stood there, the Barace Foundation paid for. And that's something people don't realize. You're still trying to live life and get through what you're going through emotionally, and now you're being hit financially, and it's taking a toll on your family, your friends. How do you do that? And you find out there really is a way, and there are people willing to help. And this foundation, without it, I really don't know where I would be.